So there's a lot to still convey to everybody who's out there. We're staying up with it on Twitter and Facebook and bringing the very latest as we learn it. So again, from Representative McCall on CNN, 4 are reported dead. The ID of the shooter is Ivan Lopez. That name is going to be infamous very soon. People are going to wonder who Ivan Lopez was and why he decided to do what he did.
My response was, this is another sad day for Central Texas.
Okay, we're just moments. We're still kind of getting everything ready out there, so it looks like we're probably less than hopefully 5 minutes away from that news conference.
There's a lot of unknowns early on, and it creates some logistical problems in how you plan for this kind of event. We routinely practice for mass casualty events. We have a command center that we run practice drills, so I'm pleased to report that we were well prepared for that. It always takes a little while to figure out exactly how many people are coming and where they're coming from, but we are amply staffed. We had our surgeons, operating rooms, everything opened up well before any of these patients arrived. We run those every few months. It's been 3 or 4 months since we had our last one, but that's a routine kind of thing that we prepare for.
You're looking at video now of earlier on post where traffic was stopped. MPs were telling people where they can and cannot go. Traffic was a mess today. They were letting one group out. I heard from a couple of tweets that only one group was let out earlier today as they were scanning cars at the main gate there. The barricades had gone up. They're kept, if you're familiar with them, they're kept in the ground, and then once they're activated, they shoot right up out of the ground and prevent anybody from going past them in any direction. So those were activated today. I heard from several tweets, and the post still remains on lockdown tonight at this hour.
And it's going to be quite some time too, like we've been talking.
Speaking of confirmation, Representative McCall just mentioned on CNN that 4 are dead. The shooter is 34-year-old Ivan Lopez. Ivan Lopez, 34-year-old, and that 4 are dead. We cannot forget about the 4 who were killed today. Also, the city of Killeen and the Red Cross are opening a shelter for anyone who is unable to return home. If you have a home on Fort Hood, you're not going to be able to get in there anytime soon. No one's going in, no one's going out. So they're opening up a shelter at the Killeen Community Center on East Veterans Memorial Boulevard. That starts at 8 o'clock tonight.
And we also are hearing from President Obama. He's expected to make a speech soon about the shooting that took place, the alleged shooting that took place on Fort Hood. Here is what he tweeted out. We are going to get to the bottom of what happened at Fort Hood. We are heartbroken that the shooting has happened at Fort Hood again, and he will have a bold statement coming up, and of course we'll pass along that to you as soon as it becomes available. But we now know who this shooter is, 34-year-old Ivan Lopez, and I'm sure we are going to learn more soon, hopefully when this news conference begins out on Fort Hood. And of course we have Sophia and Emily who have been talking to people out there. I know Emily was speaking to, I believe, a spouse who was waiting for her husband who was on Fort Hood. And Sophia said earlier that when she was in the visitor center that folks were just really upset about this event happening, especially when you think about what happened back in 2009. Speaking of Sophia, let's check back in with her. She is out on Fort Hood. Sophia, what's happening out there?
On standby. Yes, Doug and Nikki, we do actually have a public affairs officer out here with us now. The press conference is still not happening right away, but I have been told that cars that are coming through here are actually being scanned, and if they are non-essential personnel, they are not being allowed through the gate. They're being turned around. And so that means here at the Fort Hood Visitor Center, which is as close as a lot of the family members could get to their loved ones. And so a lot of them have parked here and are inside the visitor center and have been told to sit tight and take shelter and stay away from doors and windows. And we are also told by one of the women here who was an Army wife, she said that her husband had been told not to make any calls or texts or anything like that. And so some of them not hearing from their loved ones, not even knowing at this moment whether they are okay. So it's definitely a fluid situation. We're not seeing as many emergency crews coming through here as we were. We were seeing them come through minute after minute after minute after minute, but that seems to have calmed down now. And we're really just waiting to find out more about exactly what happened and what the situation is and how soon those people who are awaiting their loved ones will be able to speak with them and hear their voices and know that they are okay. And this just hits all too close to home for the folks who live here in the Killeen-Fort Hood area. We had the November 5th, 2009 shooting rampage here on Fort Hood that touched so many lives and affected so many people in such deep and profound ways. And it's not the first mass shooting here in the Killeen-Fort Hood area. Back in October of '91, the Luby's massacre happened here in the Killeen area. And so it just, a lot of people we're speaking to are just telling us that those memories are kind of just flooding back, and they're being filled with the fear and just the not knowing is just what they're going through right now. Is not knowing whether they're able to speak to their loved ones, where their loved one is, what they're feeling, how they're doing. And so it's a fluid situation. We're waiting to hear from public affairs officers. It looks like they might be setting up a podium right now. So we may be able to expect this press conference here in the next couple of minutes or hours. So we'll definitely keep you up to date. Doug and Nikki.
All right, Sophia Samas, live outside at the Bernie Beck Gate in Killeen on Fort Hood. We thank you very much. We'll check back in with you shortly. You mentioned the public affairs officer is out there, so hopefully that is a sign of something happening as far as a press conference goes, so that we can get some answers to what is going on today. We're trying to report as much as we can to you as we get it and get it confirmed.
You were even receiving some information that people were being asked on posts to turn their cell phones off, possibly in fear of misinformation being released to the public. But we know that folks that are sitting at the gate, they're stuck in their cars. You know, they've been there since 4:45. It's almost 7:15, and I'm sure they're just ready to get out of their cars, get home, get wherever they need to be.
See their families.
And this is going to be going on for quite some time, because this is a crime scene. There's an investigation that's happening as we speak, and
at the building where it happened earlier today, we were talking to a gentleman who was our eyes and ears at the scene. He said that there were about 90 cop cars there. The SWAT team was there. Helicopters were flying around. They were landing and taking off. Ambulances, probably about 20, he said. They were shuffling people to and from the ambulances. Men, women, children being escorted out of the building with their hands in the air, told them to get on the ground. They were at gunpoint. Very frightening moments there, but we learned shortly after that the shooter killed himself of a self-inflicted gunshot wound, 34-year-old Ivan Lopez.
And yeah, we just learned the shooter's name just moments ago. If we have some of that video that we showed you earlier of some of our viewers that sent us in when they were hearing the calls from Fort Hood over the loudspeaker to stay in their homes, if we could play that for our folks at home to see.
Doors and windows. Shut off people, ventilation, and air systems. Seek shelter immediately. Doors and windows. Shut off people, ventilation, and air systems. Seek shelter immediately. Doors and windows. Shut off people, ventilation, and air.
Yeah, and obviously a very scary situation.
We so far have received 3 patients who've been transferred that are here in our facility. We have 3 more that are en route. We've had 4 patients that are actually here now and 2 more that are en route. They've had a variety of injuries that we've been treating, ranging from gunshot wounds that involved extremities, abdomen, chest, and neck. These patients are receiving treatment right now, and we are expecting 2 more to be arriving shortly. They've been transported by both air and land. The 2 that are coming are we're preparing to go directly to the operating room in anticipation of some very needed surgery. We have all of our support staff have been activated, and we have ample resources to take care of any more patients that need to be transferred over. But at this time, we don't anticipate additional patients being transferred over from Fort Hood at this time. So we are prepared to answer any questions. We can give you any additional information.
Those that are here now, their conditions?
Yeah, their conditions range from stable to quite critical. I don't have that information, ma'am. I can't even give you those specifics. I'm sorry.
What about the rest of the people? Was there a total of maybe 40 people?
I have none of that information, ma'am. We accepted these patients transferred after they had been evaluated and taken care of over in Killeen at the fort. So we really didn't render any immediate care at the scene or anything like that.
So there's a lot to still convey to everybody who's out there. We're staying up with it on Twitter and Facebook and bringing the very latest as we learn it. So again, from Representative McCall on CNN, 4 are reported dead. The ID of the shooter is Ivan Lopez. That name is going to be infamous very soon. People are going to wonder who Ivan Lopez was and why he decided to do what he did.